Alright, what's going on YouTube? Oh Lucian, you gotta love him. Or hate him. But there's no denying that he is League's current premier spell slinger. And he is by far my favorite champion. Weaving in and out of combat, the possibility of going either full DPS or full burst, just overall how badass he is. Playing Lucian just feels right. So that's what today we're taking a look at the most important aspect of playing Lucian, his spell rotations. It's a short and straightforward concept to grasp, but the big challenge comes in timing your E to sync with other abilities without putting yourself at risk, all the while outputting as much damage as possible. Now you might argue that this skill comes naturally by playing the champion, but you really gotta put in the time to notice the results of your Lucian mastery. So how can I help you with anything? Well, I can make that learning curve a lot smoother and easier to grasp. So if you're new to Lucian, this video is for you. But enough talk, let's take a look at how his spell rotation works. Okay, here's Lucian's entire kit. We'll make up a combo that will help us understand how Lucian's spell rotation works. In a perfect hypothetical scenario, we'll start with our E. Why? Because its cooldown is reduced every time you use his passive. So we want as many of our other abilities up as we can to use it quicker. Next, we auto attack once to proc our passive. So now we have a choice. Should we Q or should we W? And the answer to that is, it depends. If we're either kiting or chasing, using our W makes more sense, since autoing a marked target will give us a movement speed boost. If we're looking for straight damage though, Qing is the best choice. Another advantage of Qing first is that since its cooldown is pretty low, after we cast our W and our E when it comes off cooldown, we can squeeze in another Q. This means that most often than not, we'll use our Q instead of our W, so we'll just assume we used our Q. After that, remember that our passive has been reset, so we auto one more time. We use our remaining ability and auto attack again. Weaving in the auto attacks is the number one priority here, as it will make up for a ton of damage. This will reduce our E cooldown by a whopping 12 seconds for the 3 times we procced our passive, which means with a bit of CDR, it's back up to get used again. That right there is the optimal Lucian combo. It would be naive to assume it will work 100% of the time though, but as far as efficiency goes, it gets no more efficient than that. So all that's left to do is just rinse and repeat as far as your cooldowns allow you to. Now that we know how to rotate through his spells properly, let's take a look at some examples. In our first clip, Bard sets Lucian up perfectly with a stun, which allows Lucian to start with his dream combo of starting with E. So that's what he does, he opens with E. After that, and both auto attacks have been procced, he uses his Q for maximum damage, and also procs his passive. After that, he would have continued the combo, but Tristana manages to escape away just in time before getting killed and popping her heal. Once you're comfortable enough with the champion, and after a couple of games, you'll be doing this kind of combos in no time, and as you could tell, it was devastating for Tristana. She got blown up immediately. So do practice it a lot on custom games and you'll see very easily how natural it is once you take into the actual game. Okay, so here Lucian is chasing this Dr. Mundo. He opens up with E, procs his passive, then uses his Q for the most amount of damage. But here he makes a mistake. He uses his W before proccing the passive that was left from his Q. So he cut off his damage potential by quite a bit, ignoring both the autos that would have happened from his passive. He's pretty fat though, so there's no big deal in that. After that, he uses his E again. Since his cooldown reduction is so much, and he already procced the passive a couple of times, he has it back up again. And at the end, a regular couple of auto attacks get rid of Mundo completely. There comes a point in the game in which Lucian or many other AD carries, actually most of them, once you hit that point, it's very difficult for a tank to kill you in a 1v1 if you play properly. As you could tell from that video, Lucian was extremely fed compared to Mundo, and Mundo thought he could take him on because his life bar looked bigger than his. However, with a little bit of tinkering with Lucian's kit, he managed to go away with the kill. Okay, so before we wrap it up, I should offer one last piece of advice to keep in mind when rotating through Lucian's spells. It is incredibly important to never open your combo with your E if it puts you in risk of getting killed. You'd be asking to get killed, actually. Instead, make sure you play around your opponent's cooldowns before you go in. That's pretty much about it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you would like to get notified on more ADC guides. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.